Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Scruffy and today we'll be checking out which tier 3 excavation maps are more profitable to run. Aside from today's video, you can also catch me streaming on Twitch at OScruffy, where I stream mostly battle royales and first person shooter games like Apex Legends, but I'm hoping to add LostArk to that list and get some more variety, so I'll leave the link in the description below. I'm also working on an in-depth excavation guide, and that should be coming out soon. So don't forget to subscribe if you want more LostArk guides. Now, if you're already familiar with excavating and have gotten to excavation level 20, then you probably did the same thing I did, and that was to look around for which kind of craftable excavation maps will earn you the best gold, aka the most efficient maps to run. But I couldn't find anyone that had a big enough sample size to extract, as much data or meaningful data as I want. So today I'll be running 100 Punika maps, and I also have 100 SVERN maps. So I'll be comparing my 100 Punika maps to my 100 SVERN maps, calculating the cost of making those maps, and then seeing the results with you guys so you can have a better idea of which maps you want to craft. So let's get started. Alright, real quick, this is how you are going to craft your excavation maps. Cool. So you're just going to open up your management in your stronghold, and you're going to go to your crafting, and you can either go to farm or special. I don't really use farm that much. I used to, but it just takes so much energy and none of the items you get for it are tradable, so I always just use the ones that are. And here are all your excavation maps. You have to unlock the research, obviously, and it takes your Oreha relics or your Kaldar relics and your rare relics. So here are the two tier 3 ones, the Punika and SVERN, and literally all you have to do is just start crafting. So this is the entire map of the Secret Forest region in Punika. What I absolutely love about the Punika excavation maps is that they will only spawn in one region, this one. So it's easier to route, and therefore it's quicker to run. In total, there are 27 POEs, or points of entry, in Secret Forest. And today we will go over the route that I use to run all my Punika maps. First off, I always start off down here at Militia Camp Triport. Then I'll just follow the green lines over to each point of entry until I no longer have any more maps taking me to that specific portal. The more maps you're running, the more chance you are to get duplicate maps, so you might have 2 of the same maps or more that tell you to go to that specific point of entry. So first, I start moving through the bottom side of the map into the Forlorn Swamps, all the way until I get to this first stop. Once I reach here, I teleport to the Triport in Beast's Garden and continue upwards. Then, when I get to that little island all the way on the leftmost part of the map, I stop again and teleport up to the Ancient Ruins Triport. Next, I just follow these green lines all the way up to the top of the map, exactly to the portal that's right next to the entrance for the Oreha's Well dungeon, while of course grabbing these other 2 points of entries that you see on the way. Then follow it back down and across the jump that takes you to the Altar of the Beast side of the map. Then you just continue following the path all the way to the top of the Altar of the Beast, and that's it, you're done. That should be the end of your route. Okay, so for those of you guys that don't really know what the maps look like, the excavation maps, we're going to do some right now. So I don't want to make you guys sit through obviously watching me do all 100 of these Punika and SVERN maps, but I'll just do a couple as an example. So especially the Punika ones, they pretty much look the same. You just want to come to this middle area. You'll see the relic symbol here for the treasure chest, and you just want to open the chest. And as soon as you're done opening the chest, you want a Song of Escape, and if you're doing them as fast as you want to be doing them, then you just want to, I guess, find the exit. And I always forget where these are because I usually just wait until the Song of Escape comes back up. Oh, there it is. I'm already right here, so I'm not going to use Song of Escape. But there you go. So from that, I think at the bottom left you should have seen, like, I got an adept crafting kit, some relic materials, and 3 solar graces, right? So you're just going to rinse and repeat all of your maps. I like to get, I try to get like 30 at a time, but for the sake of this video I said let me do 100. That way I'm not running to excavate all the time. The one good thing about this though is it doesn't take your action energy, so you can go do whatever trade skills you want to do, get your action energy or your life energy all the way to 0, and this doesn't take anything really. And now I'm going to Song of Escape, and we're going to head to the next one. We did 3 maps so far, and I have 3 adept crafting kits, 12 solar graces, 2 solar blessings. I'm just going to put everything here. You don't need that much space for the loot. But yeah, I'm just going to keep everything there for these first 100, and that way we can calculate the cost and everything afterward. Alright guys, just a quick intermission here. To avoid what I just went through in that map run through clip, which was me frantically looking for the exit portal, I decided to make some cutouts of the mini-maps for you guys so you know exactly where to go. We'll start with the Punika maps. This was way more difficult to make than the SVERN maps because you can't zoom out all the way, but I did the best that I could with my handy dandy snipping tool. Also, I only thought of cutting and pasting the screenshots of the maps over one another after I spent hours, literally hours, free drawing them on paint. So that's why you see both of these here. And I'm not going to just let them go to waste, okay? Moving on. So Punika excavation maps have both some dynamic and some static features. It has 2 entrance locations, 2 exit locations, and 1 relic chest spawn location. The relic chest location is static, so it's always in the same spot. You don't even have to worry about it. As you probably already guessed, since there are 2 spawn locations and 2 exit locations, these are probably what the dynamic parts are, and you would be 100% correct. No cap, true. But they are not dependent on one another, which means that you can't assume that if you got spawned in at one location, that the exit location will be the same every time. For example, if you did a map and spawned in at the bottom left entrance and then found the exit was at the top left, and then you ran a second map, you might spawn in on the bottom left again, but the exit location might not be the top left again, it might be the top right. So yeah, it's dynamic in that way. For SVERN, it is a little different. It has 2 types of excavation maps for starters. Now, even though there are 2 different maps, for both of those maps, everything is static. So it's actually a little bit simpler. There's only 1 spawn location, 1 chest location, and 1 exit location. All the exits are very close to the chest, so it's actually way faster to use those portals instead of using the Song of Escape. So we finished doing all 200 maps. I made a little legend for you guys right here. So the first portion is going to be for Punika maps, second portion for SVERN, and this is just telling you which relics I'm referring to, and this is the number that I got. Just a quick comparison, you could see that the numbers are quite similar. Per 100 maps, I got 2,600 ancient relics from Punika, 2,700 from SVERN. I got more rare relics and array hot relics from Punika than SVERN though, but I think in the grand scheme of things, in bulk, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference in terms of materials. And another thing to note, where I'm pointing these green arrows, that is the cost in gold of how much it took to make all 100 maps for each region, right? So here's my Punika, here's my SVERN, and it took 31.2k gold to create, and this 31.2k gold is calculated off of how the market prices are currently. At the time of making this video, it might have costed me a little less since I've been making them for a while and hoarding up on mats. But as of right now, it's 31.2k for Punika and 35k for SVERN. Okay guys, now for the fun part. So I put these huge arrows here just for anyone who likes to skip. I know some people like to skip. So this is how much gold we received from the maps. And of course this is in material cost. I haven't actually liquidated yet. But one thing you can notice right away is that all I did was just plug this into my Excel. Right, so here's all the materials from the Punika maps, plug them in here. We had 224 solar graces over here, 46 solar blessings, and 9 solar protections from the Punika. So I plugged those in as well, and we only had 1 expert craft kit. Real quick, just to mention, you won't see the apprentice or the adept crafting kits here because they're literally worth 1 or 2 gold each. So I didn't think it was worth mentioning. Bottom line, here's all the profit that we've been making for each of these maps. So after 100 Punika maps, we ended up with 672 gold profit, and for the SVERN we ended up with roughly 7.4k gold profit. Just a quick note, to be honest, this is my first time being this unlucky. I normally do not get only 1 expert craft kit from 100 Punika maps. I think my average prior to this video was roughly 1 per 50 or 60 maps. So it's kind of weird that I only got 1, and then even at the end of the video as I was recording, I got to maybe the last 10-15 maps before I got 2 of these expert craft kits for SVERN. So just keep that in mind. It's all RNG, of course, but this is what the calculation came to. Personally, I still think I might give Punika another try for another 100 and see how that goes, just because the route is so much easier, and it took me probably twice as much time to run the SVERN maps because I had no idea where to go. Like I had to open each excavation map, check for where the location was, and sometimes I would be going across the map just to look for that. So yeah. Alright, now here's a summary for my TLDR viewers. First, I only briefly touched upon this earlier, but the time to run these maps is a significant part of being efficient. So I can say that for me, Punika was much faster to run since I'm more familiar with it. I know every location for the map entrances memorized. I know when to use the triport and which routes I want to take. But even so, I still believe that Punika will yield a faster time to run than SVERN for first timers. And that's because Punika only has 1 map, or 1 area where the locations spawn, and that is in Secret Forest, while SVERN has map locations in both Bellion Ruins and the Candaria Territory area. Second, we can assume that the raw materials received from both regions are extremely close given the larger sample size, right? So because the sample size was 100 each, 100 maps for each region, and the raw materials were still very comparable, I would say stick to Punika if you're looking to maximize raw material gain, as it's quicker to run. 3. The raw data says that SVERN maps holds the higher gold profits, but personally I'm not convinced that that's the case. I think after I factor in the time to run and the cost to make, Punika has a lower cost to make, as well as my previous experience running the Punika maps. I'm trending towards my RNG just being bad for this batch of 100 Punika maps, so I'm going to keep testing that out. Now, number 4, based on only the data from this run, we can assume that the relic grade kits, or the mastercraft kits, have less than a 1% chance of dropping from these maps or the chests. Now, for the legendary grade kits, the expert craft kits, if we calculate it separately by region, it has somewhere between a 1 to 3% drop rate, and if we combine both regions, it comes out to exactly a 2% drop rate. So the only way to disprove this, or to prove this assumption, well, that would mean we have to run more maps. So I'm going to keep working on this theory and keeping you guys updated and calculating my findings. I did try looking for data on what the craft kit drop rates are and couldn't really find anything. So if any of you viewers found something, even if it's nowhere near this ballpark, please leave a comment and I would love to take a look. Alright everyone, thank you guys for watching. This is the end of the video. I hope I gave you insightful information on how you should proceed to go about your excavation trade skill in LostArk. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and of course share the video with your friends. Maybe they'll learn something too. If you guys have any video ideas, please leave them in the comments below. Hopefully more videos coming soon. Please let me know what you thought.